Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about cricket, World Test Championship. Any editorial like this will talk about the teams that are going to participate. It will try to contrast with other formats. It will also touch the strengths and weaknesses of each team, how they have to do, and what is required to win the title. This is a broad framework, and today you're going to work on spot the errors, para-jumble, idioms, words, and meanings. A lot of words are there to learn from today's editorial. Let us go to editorial vocabulary. What is the first word? Summit. Summit usually goes with mountaineering, mountains, the peak, the apex. Here, an important formal meeting, the highest point. One meaning of summit, an important formal meeting between the heads of different countries. Another meaning, the highest point. World Test Championship, the highest point. So the summit. We also use the expression the summit clash, an important expression. Hold nerve, an idiomatic expression. Remain calm and determined in a difficult situation. Imagine you have to face a difficult situation. You remain calm and you try to control yourself, calm, composed, balanced, poised. Then we say he is good at holding his nerve. Hold your nerve. Someone is anxious, we say hold your nerve. Congregate, congregation, noun form, congregate, verb. To come together in a large group of people or animals, usually it goes with people. And congregation, a lot of people belonging to a particular segment, they come together. We use the word congregation, noun form, congregate, verb. Bash, in this context, a different connotation, something like a competition. And actual meaning of the word bash, one meaning party, birthday bash, another meaning to criticize, one more meaning to hit someone very hard. Connoisseur, an important word, part of speech noun. A person who knows a lot about and enjoys one of the arts or food, drink, etc., and can judge quality and skill in that subject. Usually, this goes with rich people, and they know how to judge when it comes to the field of aesthetics or food or drinks. They know what is good, what is not good, what is not up to the mark. They can judge the quality and skill in that subject. We call that person connoisseur, an important word. Yardstick, another important word, part of speech noun. A fact or standard. Usually, yardstick means a standard by which you can judge the success or value of something. We say, what is a yardstick? Means what is a standard? Commence we have got a few times, part of speech verb, to begin something, commence, to start. Prosper, a familiar word, part of speech verb, of a person or business to be or become successful, especially financially. Flourishing business, thriving business, prospering business. These are the combinations you have to catch or recollect. Exhilarating. Usually we say exhilarating experience. Exhilarating, an important word, part of speech adjective, making you feel very excited and happy. You're excited, you're happy, exhilaration, exhilarating feeling or experience. Rivalry, a common word, part of speech noun, a situation in which people, businesses, etc., compete with each other for the same thing. When two persons, two teams, two groups compete with each other, we use the term a rivalry. There is a rivalry between the two companies. It may have a negative connotation, it may have a positive connotation. Sober is a different thing, sobering is a different thing. In a way, related. Sober means calm and quiet. Usually it goes with after drinking, a lot of people get intoxicated. Then they behave in a funny way. But some people, after drinking a lot, they remain calm and composed. Then we use the word sober. Here, sobering, part of speech adjective, making you feel serious or think about serious matters. Sobering adjective, think about serious matters. I'm sure you all know the word vacuum. It goes with physics. Noun, a lack of something. But in this context, there is a vacuum in that particular field. Means what? A gap, lack of something. Destined to become something. It takes a preposition to. Destined to achieve success. Many of you, almost all of you, are destined to achieve success. Part of speech adjective intended for a particular purpose. Cliche, an important word we have got for the first time. But if you read the newspapers, you come across this quite often. And there should be a stroke somewhere here. Cliche, a phrase, remark, or opinion that has very often been used or expressed before and is therefore not original and not interesting. A cliche means something that has been said many a time, not original. So it is not, people take it for granted. Potent, potential, you all know, you have a lot of potential to achieve success, to come up in life. But potent, part of speech adjective, very powerful, forceful, or effective. Seem in this context, actually, seem means a line that joins two things. But in this context, it goes with pace. Pace means a speed. Whimsical, an important word. Part of speech adjective. Unusual, strange, in a way that might be funny or annoying. Something like unpredictable, unusual, strange, whimsical. But here you have to recollect one idiom, whims and fancies. He always behaves on his based on his whims and fancies. Means a little eccentric, idiosyncratic, and not based on judgment, not based on rationality, but based on emotions. Then we say, don't act on your whims and fancies. Try to use rationality. An important word, whimsical, different, whims and fancies are different. Fickle, you can say. Very good, Suresh. Tussle. Tussle, usually we say a fight, but literal meaning to fight with another person using your arms and body. Not in this context. In this context, tussle means to fight. There are two teams. You have got this recently, but you have got as a noun at the helm. At the helm, a standard expression. What does it mean? At the top, controlling everything. But here, today in the editorial, it has been used as a verb. Same meaning, helm, a verb, officially controlling an organization or company. Meaning is the same, the word form is different. Helm usually used as a noun. And what is the standard phrase? At the helm. But here used as a verb. Loom, we have got many a time. Part of speech verb, to appear as a large, often frightening or unclear shape or object. Something exists, but not very clear and a bit threatening. Then we use the word loom. And it takes the word large, loom, large. Remember that combination as well. Philip, we have got in the recent past, part of speech noun, something that causes a sudden improvement. Something that causes a sudden improvement. Fillip to the industry. The new policy gives a fillip to the industry, means that causes a sudden improvement. A lot of words, some of these words are very important. And this editorial, I'm sure you can relate because it is related to cricket. One thing, a lot of people in our country, especially, whenever it is about cricket, they get excited and they find it quite interesting. So this editorial should be interesting, but there's a lot to learn, not only from vocabulary point of view, but also from grammar point of view. Let's see how it starts. A climax. I'm sure you all know the word climax. Usually it goes with movies, the climax scene. A climax at the summit. Summit goes with mountaineering, rock climbing. Rock climbing, not exactly, but mountaineering, we use the word summit. Reach the summit means the peak. But here, an important formal meeting, one meaning, and the highest point, another meaning. In this context, when it comes to World Test Championship, the final stage. So the summit, the clash at the summit on the World Test Championship in London today. I think it begins today. On the World Test Championship. It's all about the World Test Championship between India and Australia in London today. What is the main idea? India will have to hold its nerve. As I said, any championship, any article related to a particular event will touch who is participating, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and to win the championship, what are they supposed to do? Based on that, India will have to hold its nerve in the World Test Championship final to come out on top, means to emerge a winner. India will have to. This is an important expression. I don't mind. I have already told. I don't mind telling again. A lot of students get confused. What is this will have to? Will refers to future. Have to is a helping verb. And what is a function of the helping verb have to or has to? Third person singular we use has to, other pronouns we use have to. It is used to express an obligation imposed by an external authority or a situation. In this context, situation. India will have to hold its nerve. Hold your nerve means what? Remain calm and determined in a difficult situation. Finals, obviously, a lot of pressure, a lot of tension. Everyone will be anxious, but one has to hold its nerve in the World Test Championship final to come out on top. An important expression to come out on top means to emerge the winner. Away from the adrenaline sprinkled nights, it starts with what has recently, something has been concluded recently. You all know it is IPL 2020. So it starts with that. Away from the adrenaline sprinkled nights. Whatever you see in green, some are idioms, some go with grammar. Adrenaline, usually we say adrenaline rush. When we are excited, when we are tensed up, adrenaline rushes into the blood. So we use this adrenaline sprinkled nights. Every match when it comes to IPL, exciting, nerve biting. Based on that, this expression, adrenaline sprinkled nights of the recent Indian Premier League. Away from that, it is time for Rohit Sharma's men to congregate together in their test whites. Test matches always played in white. Here, there is an important expression. It is in green. I usually tell students, it is time, an important expression. Why is it? When you use it is time or it is high time, you have to use a verb in the past form. It is time you started your preparation. It is time you went there. But here, I always caution students. English has rules, English has exceptions. The moment you see it is time, don't think the verb should be in the past. Not always. Always read the sentence, understand the context. Based on the context, you decide whether it takes that rule or not. It is time for Rohit Sharma's men. Here we have to congregate. We don't have the verb in present or past. We have the verb in the basic form with to or infinitive with to. These are different pattern. Based on this, you don't have to use the verb in the past form. I hope you guys are listening carefully. Whenever there's an exception, you got to be alert. It is time. Already a lot of students know it is time, it is high time. The verb should be in past. You have that fixed idea. Based on that, you try to spot the error. Every time it doesn't work. Here it's a different pattern. It is time for Rohit Sharma's men to congregate. Congregation, congregate a verb, congregation noun. To congregate, it is in the basic form or infinitive with to. Nothing wrong with this. A different pattern altogether. I would like to tell you guys, in English we have about 350 sentence patterns. When you learn English grammar, you learn about at the most 100 or 150. If you go to someone who is very good at grammar, the master, then you may learn on the higher side, the range 100 to 150. Let us take the higher side 150. Out of 350, you learn 150 patterns. Still, how many patterns are there? 200 patterns. So, what you know is a little. What is there? There is so much. So, always be a little cautious. Don't be hasty because every mark matters. It is time for Rohit Sharma's men to congregate. Congregate means to gather. It goes with a lot of people, group of people or animals, but generally goes with group of people to come together. Religious congregation, political congregation, in their test whites. Test matches, I'm sure you all know, people use, players use white dress, white. The 2020 bash, bash actually means party. Birthday bash we use regularly. Bash has many meanings. One meaning party, Another meaning to criticize. Third meaning to hit someone. He was bashed up, thrashed. But here, 2020 bash means something like enjoyment. May have its share of thrills, but for the connoisseur, 2020 always exciting, exhilarating, nerve biting, keeps you on your toes. The 2020 bash may have its share of thrills, not a little, a lot. But for the connoisseur, contrasting information, connoisseur, an important word. This goes with the world of aesthetics and also goes with the rich and the famous, the cream of the society. They can afford to. When they get exposed to paintings, the best works, paintings, sculptures, the best dishes, delicacies, and also the best drinks, they have the skill to judge what is good, what is not good, and which is the best, which is ordinary, which is substandard. That person who has that ability to judge in the field of aesthetics, food, drinks, any of these, we call that person connoisseur, an important word. And this is important in the sense you may get in the exam. We have one exam topic, what is that? Misspelt or inappropriate words. I'm damn sure they may give this word over there. Spelling is not easy, you got to be careful. Test cricket. Now it is about test cricket. A lot of people find test cricket today uh, rather boring because 2020 T20s offer a lot of excitement because it is a matter of 3 hours, but test cricket a matter of 5 days. You should have a lot of patience to sit and watch. Test cricket spread over 5 days is the ultimate yardstick. Ultimate yardstick. Ultimate, regular word people use regularly. Yardstick means standard. It's an important word. Test cricket spread over 5 days is the ultimate yardstick to judge both the singular, that means the player, and the collective, that means the team. Again, when you see the word team, you got to become alert and you have to think of collective nouns. And you have to recollect the examples from the exam point of view. What are the important examples that go with collective nouns? Committee, jury, team, staff, all these you have to recollect. And the prize cannot be bigger than the World Test Championship. If they win the match, obviously the test match, the prize cannot be bigger than the World Test Championship title. On offer as India take on Australia. Take on means to compete, to face, in the final commencing at London's Oval Stadium on Wednesday. It is about, and the prize cannot be bigger than the World Test Championship title on offer as India take on Australia in the final commencing, beginning. Commence means to begin or to start or to launch at London's. Where is it going to happen? London's Oval Stadium on Wednesday, that is today. In a part of London, this is an important expression. Sometimes I use this part of the world, this part of the country. Similar phrase in a part of London, not entire London, in a part of London where a large number of Asians, Africans, and the West Indians reside, India will not be short of support. If you take London, there are a lot of Asians, a lot of Indians, a lot of Africans, a lot of West Indians. They all reside over there. Based on that, the sentence says India will not be short of support, won't be short of support. Means they will have a lot of support. In the stadium, you can expect a lot of Indians, Asians supporting the Indian team, Africans, West Indians, all these. It may be an away game. Means what? It is not happening in India, it is happening in London. It may be an away game, but Rohit's men will feel at home. An important expression. When someone comes home, or in a particular office, also we say feel at home. Means what? Feel comfortable. Rohit's men will feel at home, will feel comfortable looking at the stands that will have a large Indian presence. That's what I've just said. Indian players, though they are playing in London, they will feel at home, they will feel comfortable. What is the reason? When they look at the stands, means the crowd, they see a large presence of a lot of Indians, large Indian presence that makes them feel comfortable. India prospered in this context, has done well, did well. in its recent exchanges against Australia. If you look at the recent exchanges between India and Australia, India prospered in its recent exchanges against Australia. Be it at home, means in India, or down under. I don't know how many of you know the expression down under. Down under expression refers to Australia, down under, in what is proving to be an exhilarating rivalry. Two important words. This is going to be the test match is going to be exhilarating rivalry. Exhilarating, an important word, making you feel very excited and happy. And rivalry, a situation in which two teams, or in this context, two teams compete with each other. But summit clashes are loaded with extra pressure, and both units will step onto the turf as equals. Summit clash always puts a lot of pressure on the players. Summit clashes are loaded with extra pressure. They have to play with the attitude now or never, do or die. Extra pressure, and both units, both the teams will step onto the turf. Flat surface we use onto, an important preposition. Here the turf means the ground. Onto the turf as equals. They are at the same level. It is a sobering reality. Reality, noun, sobering, an important word. But sober, a different meaning. Sobering means making you feel serious or think about serious matters. It is a sobering reality that India last won an ICC silverware during the 2013 ICC Champions Trophy in England, and this is a historical vacuum. Last 2013, and this is a historical, so many years over, vacuum. Vacuum means what? Lack of something. In this context, lack of the championship. That Rohit and company will feel a need to address. They have to address this vacuum. That means they have to work hard, try hard to get the trophy or win the title. In the previous WTC cycle, which culminated, we have got this word already, culminate to reach the final stage. In the 2021 final at Southampton, another place in England, India lost to Kane Williamson's New Zealand. They lost in the summit clash. For the senior group of skipper, group that is also a collective noun, Rohit, Virat Kohli, Pujara, Rahane, Ashwin, and Jadeja, the Oval contest offers another shot at ICC glory. All the senior players, they get a chance to show their talent and expertise. India will miss its injured duo, two players, one Bumrah, the other one Rishabh Pant. But in Shubnam Gill, emerging player, has a batter seemingly destined for greatness. A great player in the making, Shubnam Gill. And the old cliche, an important word. What does it mean? A phrase, a statement, a remark that has been used many a time does not sound new, and people may not interesting. People may take it for granted. And the old cliche of Indian batting against Aussie speedsters will be again in vogue. We have got this recently. In vogue means to be popular, to be in the limelight. And the old cliche, what is that? Indian batting against Aussie speedsters will be again in vogue. People will talk about that. India too has a potent seam attack. Potent, potential. Potent means very powerful, forceful. Seam attack. Seam in this context, fast bowlers, pace. And it would be interesting to see if Rohit presses ahead with both the spinners. Spinners, we have two spinners. One is Ashwin, the other Jadeja. Or opts for just one. And it is about the surface, the oval surface, like Sydney's SCG, can have a subcontinental flavor, Indian flavor, but under whimsical English skies. Whimsical, not predictable, unpredictable, and also unusual or strange. English skies are whimsical. And with a hint of grass on the pitch, the tussle could throw up many riveting angles. Tussle, fight, not literally with hands and body, but fight, competition. Could throw up, could present many riveting angles, exciting situations. How does the editorial end? Rival captain Pat Cummins helms. Here it has been used as a verb. Means controls a strong pace attack with Michelle Stark offering the left arm dimension. It is about the strength of England team, Australian team. Left arm, left-handers, for left-handers is a word. They are known as, if I'm a left-hander, the word for left-handers, southpaw, singular, southpaws, plural. Rival captain Pat Cummins helms a strong pace attack with Michelle Stark offering the left arm dimension. He also has Steve Smith, David Warner, and Marners as his batting colleagues. With the Ashes series is between England and Australia, very prestigious. With the Ashes series against England looming ahead, loom large, a typical expression. Loom means to appear as a large, often frightening or unclear shape or object. Looming ahead, Cummins would hope that the WTC final would offer a fillip something that causes a sudden improvement. While India, for the Indian team, ever consistent, equally wants to prove that it can hold its nerve in the climax. Both, each team has a particular reason, a particular objective, and for the Australian team, it would offer a fillip. For the Indian team, to show that it can hold its nerve in the climax. Easy to comprehend, familiar topic, but a lot of words are there to learn. Do spend some time. Coming to comprehension based questions, reading comprehension skill, based on this editorial, what is this editorial about? What is the ultimate yardstick to judge both the singular, that is a player, and the collective, that is a team? What is proving to be an exhilarating rivalry? Keywords. What will be again in vogue? Something will be in vogue. What is that? In the context of the editorial. What can have a subcontinent flavor in the context of the editorial? Keyword subcontinent flavor. All that you have to do, navigate, locate, and write the answer. But I would like to caution you guys. I don't know how many of you are writing the answers. Do remember, whatever I bring, there's a reason behind. And when I bring these questions, the objective, the reason, I expect you guys to write the answers. The very first question, what is objective, the reason behind? If you write about this, what is this editorial about, in your own sentences, in the long run, it will be useful when it comes to descriptive English. We are not writers. English is not our mother tongue. So descriptive English is all about writing skill. You cannot get it overnight. You have to start somewhere, keep on writing, and initially one sentence and two sentences. After that, five sentences with errors. Over a period of time, you will be able to write in brief about an editorial in your own sentences without any grammatical errors. When you reach that stage, descriptive English, I always tell, makes or breaks your selection. Do remember, you become good at writing skill and you will get more marks. You will have the competitive edge. If you simply listen to these questions and don't do anything about that, in a way you are wasting your time. Do remember. And coming to other questions, why do I bring? You all know bank exams passage, the deciding factor. Because in the past they would give 10 questions, now 8 to 10 questions. Today candidates are getting eliminated, not even 1 mark, 1.25 marks. And when you write the answers in your own sentences, I would like to reiterate, when you read this question, you get a chance to go back to the editorial and you get a chance to navigate. Based on the keywords, you get a chance to locate and you get a chance to write the answer in your own sentences. Cut and paste, sheer waste of time. And that will help when it comes to comprehension skill. That will be useful when it comes to develop contextual awareness. That is the reason why I bring. You simply listen, you don't write the answers. In my opinion, you're wasting your time. Please don't do that. Let us go to practice questions based on error location. Based on exam topics and this exam topic, error location. Read the first one and try to spot the error. Inside its 7,000 square meter main building are tanks capable of producing 8 million smolt juvenile. Juvenile means young. Atlantic salmons every year. An easy one, but if you know the rule, easy, otherwise not easy. I have already said Venkata Vasu. In vogue means popular. Everyone talks about it, everyone uses it. Something is in vogue means very popular, in the limelight. More than limelight, very popular. It goes with the fashion industry. Something is in vogue, something is very popular. Where is the error? Yes, Rajshekhar, very good. Here, no, there is an error in the last part. In fact, those who attended last evening, important grammar rules, they should answer this within no time because there are some nouns. They have the same form for singular and plural. Examples types of fish, salmon, cod, trout, sheep, deer, bison, offspring, aircraft, spacecraft. So the moment you read a sentence like this, no need of second reading. The moment you see the word salmons, you will stop there. You know there's an error. There is no word like salmons, only salmon. Same form, singular and plural. An easy question, provided you know the rule. It was a heady brew, and Britain intoxicated by it. Of the 57 British Prime Ministers, 20 went to Eton. Where is the error? It was a heady brew, and Britain intoxicated by it. Of the 57 to justify, of the 57 British Prime Ministers, 20 went to Eton. What is wrong with the second part? Inside its 7,000 square meter main building are tanks capable of producing. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with this. Inside its means some place. 7,000 square meter main building. Inside the building, there are tanks capable of. But here you don't have to use there are because you're not starting with there. Inside its 7,000 square meter main building are tanks capable of. Nothing wrong. There is an error. Oh, all of you have the same wavelength. There is an error. No, no one has got it right. It was a heady brew, and Britain intoxicated by it. Heady brew, intoxicated by it. By it, then you have to think of passive voice, past tense, and you have to use what something is missing. What is missing? Britain was intoxicated. Britain was intoxicated. Something intoxicated Britain. Active voice, past tense. Britain was intoxicated by a heady brew. Past tense, passive voice. This question is about past tense, passive voice. Passive voice. Was intoxicated. No one could get it right. Across much of the world, the fertility rate, the average number of births per woman, are collapsing. Should not be that difficult. Across much of the world, the fertility rate, the average number of births per woman, are collapsing. Why now Britain? Now the third question. No, no. Is collapsing. Very good. Two students. One is Ajay, the other one Anusha. After that I see Sai Harsha. Some more students. Very good. Across much of the world, no problem. The fertility rate. After that you have a phrase, the average number of births per woman. Don't consider phrases and clauses after the subject. Make it a habit. Then rate is singular, you cannot say or, you have to say is. The fertility rate is collapsing. What is this about? Subject verb agreement. Go to the next question. The bank's tally includes both emissions trading schemes, where polluters can trade permits in a market, as well as carbon taxes, where a government sets a price directly. An easy one. One reading, you should be able to spot the error. Question number 4. The reason for bringing a lengthy sentence, unfamiliar context, but the rule, familiar rule. No one has responded. Here the clue for you both. But under pressure to get confused, there's every possibility to get confused, because where polluters can trade permits in a market, there's a clause that may confuse the candidates. But the moment you see the word both, you have to think of as well as is not correct. Both, what is a combination word? And. An easy one. Good. A lot of students have got it right. Over the past 3 years, the country lost around 2 million people as a result of war, disease, and exodus. Exodus means mass migration, an important word. A lot of people migrate from one country to another country. We use the word exodus. They have given in a few competitive exams an important word. You have to know the meaning of that word. Over the past 3 years, the country lost around 2 million people as a result of war, disease, and exodus. Very good. Here, over the past 3 years means it talks about a situation from the past to the present. Past to the present. Then we have to use, it refers to the last use of present perfect tense. We have to use present perfect tense. Based on that, over the past 3 years, that is a clue for you, the country has lost. The country has lost around 2 million people as a result of war, disease, and exodus. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? Please work on the para jumble. Take the elimination approach. You can get the first one, but after that, you got to be a little careful. It, a pronoun cannot be the first one, eliminate. And a conjunction cannot be the first one, eliminate. It, a pronoun cannot be the first one, eliminate. To track, no subject cannot be the first one, eliminate. So what is the first one here? 4 is pretty good. That is, you should be happy. 4 out of 5. Almost all the students. That's very good. E is the first one. Yes. But after that, you got to be careful. To most economists, putting a price on greenhouse gas emissions is the best way to tackle climate change. Opening sentence, easy. But after that, a little difficult. You got to be a little careful, second and third. After that, it becomes easy. E is the first one, that is over. Go to the second one. B is not the second one. C is not the second one. That's why I said you got to be careful. No, no, no. No one has got the second one right except Govardhan. Govardhan has got it right. It is efficient, allowing society to identify the cheapest unit of carbon dioxide equivalent to forego. Here you may ask, so there are 2 sentences you can consider. One A, the other C. It is fair. It is about this one, greenhouse gas emissions, and putting a price on that. Why not CYA? Because first it is society, a larger unit, then polluters, segment of the society, in the society. Based on that, first is society, then polluters. It is efficient, allowing society to identify the cheapest unit of carbon dioxide equivalent to forego. It is fair, one more aspect. Polluters pay. The proceeds can be redistributed. EAC, not D. EAC, one group. After that, more information, and it aids other forms of decarbonization. Complying with a carbon price forces companies to track their emissions. So, BD, one pair, EAC, one group, and BD, one group. Who is this? How? Good. EAC, not B. Not easy, because once you go off the track, the second one, then it is gone. You have to be very careful. That's why I have brought it. Now we have idioms. Bells and whistles. They have given once or twice. Bells and whistles. What does it mean? If one student responds, then I will write the answer. Bells and whistles. No one has responded. B, no. No, no. Bells and whistles means attractive additional features. Answer is C. One is Govardhan has got it right. Whistle in the dark. Try to get easy ones. Clean as a whistle. Extremely clean, squeaky clean, clear, spotless. A. Bell the cat. Blow the whistle. To expose a wrongdoing in the hope of bringing it to a halt. Blow the whistle. Whistleblowers. I'm sure you guys know. Whistle in the dark. Now you got to decide the second one and the third one. You are left with B and E. Third one is B. That's right. Bell the cat. To undertake. Fifth one, A, over. And what are you left with? Whistle in the dark. I think it should be the other way. Third one, have you answered? You are left with E. I don't see a lot of responses. 3 you can easily get, but second and third you got to be a little careful. Let us go to words you got yesterday. Words, parts of speech, meanings. If one student answers, then I will. Here, risky dangers. B is correct, E is correct. Has anyone got all the 5? C, E, B, D, A. That is the order. Here, avert, part of speech verb, a regular verb, averted. So what does it mean? First one, C. To prevent something bad from happening. Good. Call for, phrasal verb. To demand that something should happen or to demand something. E. Venturing, business venture or all the five. Tripura Sundari, very good. Idioms, highly appreciable. Venturing, business venture, that is one combination. Venture can be a noun, can be a verb. I'll write both. Noun, verb. Means what? A new activity that involves a risk. Answer is H. Camouflage. It can be a noun, it can be a verb. The use of leaves, branches, paints to hide the military equipment or the soldiers, but simple meaning to hide. Answer J. Glitzy, part of speech, adjective. We got the combination glitzy facade. Glitzy means what? No one has answered. Fifth one. Quality of being exciting but of no real value. Answer is A. Facade means the front of a building, especially a large building. F. That is a noun. Paramount, more important than anything else. Adjective. And B is the answer. Sabotage, an important word, part of speech, noun. To damage or destroy something and make sure it does not happen, something does not happen. G. Collision, accident, an accident that happens when two things hit each other. In the context, trains. Freight, part of speech, can be a noun, can be an adjective. Goods that are carried from one place to another place. Has anyone got all correct? 10 words, parts of speech, meanings. Then you should be very happy. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. I will see you guys in the evening 7:30. Today we have the practice session. Yesterday I taught 10 rules. Based on those 10 rules, today practice questions. Do attend the session. Thank you very much.